Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the Midday News. The headlines. Polling underway for fourth phase of assembly elections in Jharkhand, 45% voting reported so far. Supreme Court to hear tomorrow pleas of alleged police atrocities on students holding protests at AMU in Aligarh and Jamial Millia Islamia in Delhi. Apex Court to hear pleas challenging constitutional validity of the Citizenship Amendment Act on Wednesday. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman holds pre-budget consultations with stakeholders for Union Budget 2020-21. And nation celebrates Vijay Diwas commemorating India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. Polling is underway for the fourth phase of assembly elections in Jharkhand. 45% voting has been recorded so far. A large number of voters in Naxal-affected areas have come out to cast their votes. Voting is taking place in 15 constituencies spread over 4 districts of Dhanbad, Deoghar, Giridih and Bokaro in this phase. Polling in the 5 Naxal-affected constituencies of Bagodar, Jamua, Giridih, Dumri and Tundi will be held between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. In the remaining 10 seats, voting will continue till 5 in the evening. A total of 221 candidates, including 22 women, are in the fray for this phase. The political fate of 2 Jharkhand ministers, Raj Paliwar and Amar Bauri, 7 former ministers and 14 sitting MLAs will be decided in this phase. Elaborate security arrangements are in place to ensure free, fair and peaceful polling. Jawans of the Central Paramilitary Forces have been deployed at all booths. Helicopters have been pressed into service for air patrolling. Borders with Bihar and West Bengal have been sealed to check infiltration of anti-social elements. More from our correspondent covering the polling.
People are exercising their right of franchisee fearlessly in the Naxal-affected areas of the state. Polling in these constituencies will conclude at 3 p.m. The first-time voters, senior citizens and Divyangs are enthusiastic about their voting right. For the first time in the country, people over 80 years and Divyang voters have exercised their franchisee through postal ballot. With KK Lal's report from Bokaro, this is Diksha Saxena for AIR News.
The Supreme Court has agreed to hear tomorrow pleas which have alleged police atrocities on students holding protests against the amended Citizenship Act at the Aligarh Muslim University and the Jamial Millia Islamia University. A bench headed by Chief Justice S.A. Bobde today also took serious note of the rioting and destruction of public property during the protests and said this must stop immediately. A group of lawyers mentioned the matter before the court, urging it to take suo cognizance of the alleged violence unleashed against students. The bench, also comprising Justices B.R. Gavai and Suryakant, asked the lawyers to file their petitions and said it would hear them tomorrow. Opposition parties have demanded judicial inquiry into yesterday's police action in Jamial Millia Islamia in New Delhi. Briefing reporters along with other opposition leaders, Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad condemned the incident. He asked how police entered the campus without permission. He said people are protesting in several parts of the country against the Citizenship Amendment Act as it is unconstitutional. Sitaram Yechuri of CPI-M, D. Raja of CPI, Sharad Yadav of Loktantrik Janata Dal, Manoj Jha of RJD were among those present. Jamial Millia Islamia Vice-Chancellor Najma Akhtar has demanded a high-level inquiry into yesterday's violence in the campus area. Talking to reporters in New Delhi after the university's Executive Council meeting, she objected to the police action against the students, saying the police entered the campus without permission. The VC said around 200 students were injured in the incident and those detained have been released. She also clarified that no death occurred during the incident and urged the people not to believe in rumours. Ms. Akhtar said that damage to property as well as damage to the emotional state of the students was caused during the police action. The university registrar said the police could not differentiate between outsiders and the university students while taking action. On this issue, Union Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi said difference of opinion may occur in a democracy, but violence is not acceptable.
तंत्र में सहमति असहमति हमारे लोकतंत्र का मजबूत पहलू है, लेकिन इसमें अगर हिंसा होती है तो वो लोकतंत्र की मूल भावना को नुकसान पहुंचाती है। जो लोग इस हिंसा पर उतरे हुए हैं उनको हम यही यकीन दिलाना चाहते हैं कि उनके सामाजिक, संवैधानिक सभी अधिकार पूरी तरह सुरक्षित हैं। मोदी जी ने, अमित शाह साहब ने खुद इस बात को कहा है। जो लोग इसको दुष्प्रचार के माध्यम से लोगों को गुमराह करने की कोशिश करना चाहते हैं, ये वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने 2014 से लेकर के और आज तक कभी भी मोदी जी के किसी भी फैसले पर समर्थन की मुहर नहीं लगाई है।
In Uttar Pradesh, the situation is under control in both educational institutions, AMU and Nadwa College, Lucknow. Students of Nadwa College in Lucknow this morning protested against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Slogans in support of Jamia students were raised by the protesters. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has also taken cognizance of the situation from DGP O.P. Singh. The Supreme Court has said it will hear on Wednesday pleas of the Congress and former Maharaja of Tripura, Pradyot Kishore Dev Burman, challenging the constitutional validity of the Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA. A bench headed by Chief Justice S.A. Bobde said it will hear the pleas along with other pending matters. Senior Advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi mentioned the two pleas for urgent listing and said this petition should also be heard along with a similar plea filed by the Indian Union Muslim League, listed for hearing on the 18th of this month. In Assam, day curfew has been lifted in Guwahati city following improvement in the situation. Offices, banks and business establishments are open and vehicles are also plying on the roads. Day curfew has also been relaxed in Dibrugarh. However, schools are to remain closed at a few places, including Kamrup Metro, till the 22nd of this month. Mobile internet services are to remain shut down for another 24 hours. Police have arrested around 180 miscreants for their alleged involvement in violence. Meanwhile, sources in the State Bank of India said that officials are making their best effort to solve the problem of cash crunch. However, the bank is finding it difficult to deposit cash at a few places in Upper Assam due to the ongoing protest. The source further said it may take another 3 to 4 days to fully normalize the situation. West Bengal Chief Minister Ms. Mamata Banerjee took part in a rally in Kolkata this afternoon opposing the NRC and Citizenship Amendment Act. Prior to the beginning of the rally, Ms. Banerjee administered an oath to the people in the gathering for peaceful movement. Our Kolkata correspondent reports that trains and vehicular traffic movement has been affected for the fourth consecutive day today due to agitations in different parts of the state. The Election Commission has sought a report from Jharkhand Chief Electoral Officer in connection with the alleged remarks of senior Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on rape incidents. The Commission sought the report after a BJP delegation led by Union Minister and Party leader Smriti Irani filed a complaint demanding action against Mr. Gandhi in the matter. Mr. Gandhi had allegedly made the remarks during a rally in Jharkhand. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, visit our News on AIR app and follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. You can also visit our website www.newsonair.com. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman started pre-budget consultations with different stakeholder groups in connection with the forthcoming General Budget 2020-21 in New Delhi today. Her first meeting was with the stakeholder groups from digital economy, fintech and startups. The Finance Ministry said the main areas of discussion during the meeting included data issues such as use of big data technology for small and medium enterprises sector and unleashing the power of big data for public governance. Many speakers suggested giving tax stops to startups and nurturing them in the country. Reserve Bank of India RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das today said the central bank had acted ahead of time by starting to slash rates in February this year. Speaking at the India Economic Conclave in Mumbai, he said as early as February this year, the RBI saw that a momentum of slowdown is building up and the central bank started cutting rates this year. The comments from the RBI governor came following a series of 5 consecutive rate cuts. The nation celebrates Vijay Diwas today to commemorate India's victory over Pakistan in the 1971 war. Rich tributes are being paid to the martyrs who laid down their lives during the war. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he salutes the courage and valor of Indian soldiers. In a tweet today, Mr. Modi said the history created by the Indian Army on this day in 1971 will always be engraved in golden words. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said India is proud of the armed forces who have defended the country in every situation. In his message, Mr. Singh said the nation salutes the indomitable courage and valor of India's armed forces. Minister of State for Defence, Shripad Yeso Naik, Army Chief General Bipin Rawat, Air Force Chief Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadoria and Navy Chief Admiral Karambir Singh paid tributes at the National War Memorial on the occasion of Vijay Diwas. A report.
On this day in 1971, the Chief of the Pakistani Forces, General Amir Abdullah Khan Niazi, along with 93,000 troops, had surrendered unconditionally to the Allied forces consisting of Indian Army and Mukti Bahini led by Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora after their defeat in the Liberation War. The end of the 14-day war resulted in subsequent secession of East Pakistan into Bangladesh. Today, for the first time, Vijay Diwas was celebrated at the National War Memorial. Special programs are also being organized at the headquarters of the Eastern Command at the Fort William in Kolkata. A 71-member delegation from Bangladesh, comprising of Mukti Jodhas and led by Member of Parliament from Bangladesh Shahjahan Khan, attending the Vijay Diwas celebrations. Anupam Mish, AIR News, Delhi.
In West Bengal, a wreath-laying ceremony was held at Vijay Smarak at Fort William, the headquarters of the Eastern Command in Kolkata this morning. A delegation of Mukti Jodhas from Bangladesh has arrived in the city to celebrate the occasion. Indian war veterans are also taking part in the celebrations. Our Kolkata correspondent reports that Eastern Command has organized a 3-day-long program to mark the day. Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Puri today formally launched DDA Portal 2 in New Delhi. Residents of 1,731 unauthorized colonies can register their details and upload their documents for verification in the portal. A total of 8,268 citizens have already registered on Portal 2 ever since it became operational. The minister said the pace at which this work has been progressing ever since government announced it about a fortnight ago is encouraging. He added that 1,550 colonies have already been mapped and 1,060 have been uploaded. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its weekly bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak will bring you a discussion tonight on recognition of property rights in unauthorized colonies of Delhi. Secretary, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and other experts will answer the queries of the listeners. The discussion can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. Listeners can ask questions to the experts sitting in our studio on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. Repeat, 1-800-115767. Listeners can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that violent protests on the Citizenship Amendment Act are unfortunate and deeply distressing. In a series of tweets a short while ago, Mr. Modi said debate, discussion and dissent are essential parts of democracy, but never has damage to public property and disturbance of normal life been a part of the ethos. He said the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019 was passed by both houses of Parliament with overwhelming support, and a large number of political parties and MPs supported its passage. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Polling underway for fourth phase of assembly elections in Jharkhand. 45% voting reported so far. Supreme Court to hear tomorrow pleas of alleged police atrocities on students holding protests at the AMU in Aligarh and Jamial Millia Islamia in Delhi. Apex Court to hear pleas challenging constitutional validity of the Citizenship Amendment Act on Wednesday. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman holds pre-budget consultations with stakeholders for Union Budget 2020-21. And nation celebrates Vijay Diwas, commemorating India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. And with that, we end the midday news.